11? Are you listening?
Welcome back, everyone. Hello, are you listening? Stranger Things just dropped a new Season 4 teaser trailer, so there's a bunch of Easter eggs here. As usual, it's pretty cryptic with a lot of references to things from earlier in the series, so we'll break it all down. If you're brand new to the channel, of course I'll be doing videos for Stranger Things Season 4 when it gets here. Be sure to subscribe to get everything. This one is all about 11 and her powers coming back, and her just flashing back, remembering things from the Hawkins laboratory where Papa, Dr. Brenner, Matthew Modine's character, was testing all the children in her program, until she tore a hole in their dimension, opening the rift to the Upside Down. You also probably spotted that the teaser says 2 of 4. The last trailer that they released with Harbour being revealed alive in Siberia, Russia, says 1 of 4. He was on that chain gang after the events of the Season 3 post-credit scene where they revealed the Russian prison with their own white demogorgon that they were just using like a glorified trash compactor, eating prisoners that they wanted to punish or get rid of. So I'll talk about what that naming scheme means, but just starting at the beginning of the new footage, all of this footage is meant to take place in the past, probably in Eleven's memories, like a flashback or a hallucination or a nightmare. And it starts on the clock in her classroom there from the Hawkins lab that reads 3 p.m. I think the 3 is just a reference to the next teaser trailer, like this one says 2 of 4 in the Stranger Things bio and in the video description. And they probably just want to let you know that there will be a 3rd and a 4th teaser trailer. The 4th one is probably when they're going to drop an official Season 4 really big trailer in the official release date, which normally I would have said would be this fall, just based on when they're filming right now. But just recently, Galen Matazzaro, who plays Dusty on the show, recently claimed that they have a long ways to go before they're done filming Season 4 episodes. So that's why you may have seen talk recently about Season 4 possibly being delayed till next year in 2022. If that happens, they'll probably release it in spring next year just because that's a big period for dropping huge series, and maybe wait till like late March or April. So the 4 in the naming scheme here, like the 1-4, 2-4, maybe 3-4 in the next teaser trailer, and then 4-4 in the last teaser trailer, those could also be references to Season 4 coming out in April 2022. Like in the naming scheme here with the teasers, the 4 could represent Season 4, but it could also represent the month 4, April of the year. I don't think it'll take them that long to actually finish all the Season 4 episodes, but what might wind up happening is they just finish filming and then sit on the footage, like put it on a shelf till April next year. Netflix is known for doing that, just sitting on episodes and waiting to release them for a long time. It's called putting things in Netflix jail. But then they show you the camera system that they had installed in the lab, watching the children everywhere they went, observing them just to see what kind of powers they might manifest or weird behavior they exhibit. But in the next scene, they show you children playing with cars on the rainbow design here on the floor, because 11 is probably just flashing back, and this is taking place in her memory. Also, you notice on the floor here, this car that the child on the right is playing with is a Bronco that looks just like Hopper's car. The car that the other child is playing with, the van, looks like the van from Season 1, the white and blue van of the 2 people from Hawkins' lab that were chasing after 11, trying to recapture her and bring her back. Then there's another child playing with this giant Plinko game that they intercut with all the rest of the trailer footage. You see the separate children playing with the chess game and the chessboard and a couple other items here. The chessboard, I think, is just a reference to the games that the kids on the show play, like the Dungeons and Dragons games, just other games that they play together. I think it's also meant to be a very obvious white versus black metaphor for good versus evil, like 11 versus the Mind Flayer, both of them playing this chess game against each other. Remember, the Mind Flayer is still alive in the Upside Down. They only defeated its avatar, all the rats, all the people that it absorbed into this golem that was controlling psychically from the Upside Down. You see that Plinko piece slowly going towards the bottom, but then they jump to the magic 8-ball that they were playing with in Mike's basement. All signs point to yes, the group was using the magic 8-ball in the show previously, just because it was a big thing during the 80s, and the show's all about 80s nostalgia and pop culture. And there's a certain level of mysticism that they bake into everything, consulting the ethers, like it's actual magic that powers the 8-ball. Like mixing the fantasy sci-fi tropes of the Dungeons and Dragons game, the idea of actual magic with 11's powers, the Mind Flayer, the multiverse with the Upside Down, other dimensions. Then you see another child building a tower of red bricks. Then you see the Plinko piece finally reach the bottom, falling into the 7 slot. There's the 3, 5, and 6 that are exposed, and the pieces are in the 4, 7, and 8 spots. So everyone's like, what do these numbers mean? What are they trying to tell us here? They've been hyping up the number 4 so much in the last 2 trailers they've released, so I think this is also just meant to be another reminder that there will be a third teaser like the number 3 is exposed, number 3 teaser trailer later this year. Then there's a wide shot of the whole room with all the kids, and then Dr. Brenner, Matthew Modine's character, out of the hallway, walking down the hallway past all the doors to the kids' rooms into that same classroom. He says, "Good morning, children," and you hear 11's heavy breathing sound sort of intercut with this, making it extra creepy. He greets all the children, then they greet him, saying, "Good morning, Papa." The account for Stranger Things was also tweeting Papa a lot too. Mostly because Dr. Brenner, Papa, is so integral to the idea of what's happening in this teaser trailer. But this is actually meant to be him. Matthew Modine is coming back for new Season 4 episodes. He was spotted on set filming episodes. I don't know how many he's going to be in, but it'll probably be a similar situation to what we saw of him during Season 2, where she's hallucinating him, remembering him. It's not him actually coming back to life. It's just all phantoms and nightmares that she's having. He says, "How are you today?" as the camera continues to pan around to the door to 11's room. Then he says he has something very special planned for you today, and follows with 11, "Are you listening?" which is what they named this whole second teaser trailer video as 11's eyes open, but it's the younger version of 11 with the shaved head back in Hawkins' lab. The very special thing that he's talking about in the context of this flashback scene when this is meant to be happening would have been the special test of their powers. Like, this is 11 remembering the events that led up to her tearing the rift open to the Upside Down. But in present day, as she's having these nightmares, these flashbacks, it's also a reference to 11 getting her powers back in present day. Like, remember, at the end of Season 3, she seemingly lost her abilities when they were able to kill the Mind Flayer's puppet, and Hopper seemingly died. They seemingly closed the rift to the Upside Down. But all these moments that she's thinking about, the Hawkins lab, this is her just dealing with her trauma, continuing to deal with her trauma, also the fresher trauma of losing Hopper, still thinking that he's dead. But I also think the idea of 11, "Are you listening?" that dialogue is her getting her powers back and listening, hearing Hopper on the other side of the world, because she would be powerful enough to do that. Eventually, Hopper has to be reunited with the group. He has to be involved in the plot somehow. The only way that the kids would be able to find out that Hopper was still alive would be if he was somehow able to contact them himself, like send them a physical note or a verbal message somehow. They did tease that Tom Blashia's character, this Russian prison guard, you might remember him from Game of Thrones as Jaqen Hagar. He showed up in that last big trailer video on the Chain Gang. A little while ago, they teased that his character would befriend Hopper, be sort of an ally to him on the DL, and might wind up helping him somehow while he's on Chain Gang here. So that could also be one of the keys to Hopper escaping prison and just warning the children about what's going on. But in the other trailer footage, they were trying to hype up the idea that we're not in Hawkins anymore, like they will be leaving Hawkins for a while. They kind of left at the end of Season 3, implying that they were going to be gone. But the funny thing about that, they've actually been filming scenes inside the Hawkins sets on the show. Like, you actually see footage of them at the video store. This is the video store that Sadie and Steve work at, where you have a couple of the kids showing up. You have Dusty, Max visiting in what looks like a couple separate scenes, like not all of these are connected to each other. They have released a couple other teasers, like they have footage of them just messing around with the idea of the Hellfire Club. They tease that that's the title of the first episode, and that there will be 9 episodes instead of 8 episodes like there regularly are. Season 2 is another example of them doing an extra episode. The whole idea of the Hellfire Club, like you see them running here with this flag, that's probably just what they named the new version of their club. Most of you big comic book fans will be thinking about the X-Men version of the Hellfire Club. That actually started in the 1970s, but was created by Chris Claremont and was featured heavily during the 80s, so it was a big thing during the 1980s when these kids would have been alive and reading actual comic books. And if you didn't see it, the Duffer Brothers were also talking about doing Stranger Things Season 5, so it kind of confirms that they're doing more stories after Season 4, but they didn't say if that would just be more episodes like a Season 5 legit, or if they'd be doing some kind of Stranger Things movie to wrap things up. But it does sound like there will be more story after Season 4. But everybody, let me know in the comments if you spotted any big Easter eggs in this teaser trailer footage that I didn't talk about in the video. I will do more Stranger Things videos when we get more teaser trailer footage, but leave all your big questions and your requests in the comments below. Speaking of big Netflix stuff that's coming up, if you're a big fan of The Witcher Season 2 will be releasing all their episodes later this year, probably in November or December. I've already done a couple videos for the last few teaser trailers they've released, so I'll put links for those in the description too. My next big series that I'll be doing videos for will be the Loki series. Marvel will be dropping episodes for that in a couple weeks. You can click here for the last big trailer for that, and click here for that really big Marvel Phase 4 movies trailer and the Eternals trailer footage. Thank you so much for watching, everyone stay safe, and I'll see you guys tonight.